Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is AtrophyOfSoul and welcome to my Resident Evil 2 hardcore difficulty, no damage, S+ rank playthrough. So, this has been a long time coming, but we are going at this game now. We are playing through Claire's A game, or Claire's first scenario game, whatever they call it in this version of the game. In the original, they call it the A game. So that's what I'm going to refer to it as from here on out. So we're playing through Claire A. We are going to no damage it. We are going to get the S+ rank. And in order to get the S+ rank on hardcore difficulty, I'm not sure if it's the same way on other difficulties. It probably is, but I haven't played any of the other difficulties. I went straight to hardcore when I first started playing this game, and I have not played any of the other difficulties since I started this game. So in order to get the S+ rank, you have to beat this A game in under 2 hours and 30 minutes. You must only save the game 3 times, and that's about it. That's all you need to do in order to get the S+ rank, as far as I know anyway. I don't think health has anything to do with it, but we will not be healing ourselves at all because once again, this is a no damage playthrough. So right now we are going through the intro section. This section is always the same, so there's nothing really to talk about here. This is just one large intro sequence. As you can see, I'm using the old school costumes here as well. These costumes released, I think, on the 15th of February. And I really love these costumes. But I only use these costumes up until my first save, and then I go to the new style classic Claire costume. So it's with the new graphics, but Claire's wearing this style costume. It's not exactly the same, but it's a pretty cool costume in my opinion. So going through this intro sequence, there's nothing really to worry about. As you saw in the earlier area, we just shot down the zombie's leg. We ran past him, picked up the key, unlocked the door, ran out of there. Now we're just dodging zombies and such. This intro sequence is a lot shorter than it is in the original version of Resident Evil 2. You're not in the city as long during this area, but I think overall you're in this city about as much as you are in the original, because there's another section later on where you go back into the city and you have to go get Sherry for whatever reason. So the first thing that we need to do when we go into the police station is go over here, and from here on out it's going to work pretty similarly to how it did in the demo. Oh, also something else I forgot to comment on. I actually have the old Resident Evil 2 music playing here. So I decided to put that music on while I was wearing this costume. I actually had the music on throughout the entirety of this playthrough. So if you're looking forward to hearing the newer music, it's pretty unfortunate that you won't, because we're playing the old school music, which I really love. One of the very few things that I was disappointed by with this game is the fact that the music is so understated. The new music is so understated, that is. The new music is great overall, but it's super understated, and it's pretty unfortunate because Resident Evil 2 had such an iconic franchise, had such an iconic soundtrack that it's kind of off-putting that the music was just kind of in the background in this game. There are certain areas where the music really gets going, especially during boss battles, but during normal gameplay, it's mostly silence when you're playing through the game. So I figured I just, use the old school soundtrack here. So again, we're just dodging these zombies. There's really nothing to this. As I said earlier, it's pretty much exactly like the demo. I'm going to lure the zombies in here. However, I'm not going to shoot any of them down because I need to conserve ammunition. The zombies take quite a bit of damage, and they can be a pain to deal with sometimes. So there's usually 3 zombies that come through here as well. For whatever reason, I didn't know where the third one was. Lately, he's been showing up at the door around this point, but this time he didn't show up, so I was a little hesitant going through this door. And I figured, well, if I get hit, I get hit, whatever, it doesn't matter, I'll just restart. And thankfully, he wasn't around. I don't know where he was, but usually there are 3 zombies who show up in that room. So now the game is about to start properly. So we finally got ourselves a knife. We are going to be using this knife to unlock this gate over here. And of course, I'm picking up the ink ribbon to throw into the item box. Excuse me. So again, we can only save the game 3 times. The saves that I used weren't very optimal, if I'm being honest. I should have saved at later points for the most part, but if you guys are following this as some sort of guide, just save a little later than I did, especially if you're not doing a no damage playthrough. If you're not doing a no damage playthrough, you're pretty much good here. This isn't too difficult to do. Excuse me. Jesus Christ. Alright, sorry about that. So, yeah, the first thing that we need to do is go and get one of the keys for the police station, which is upstairs. I believe it's on the 3rd floor. We have a few zombies to deal with. This playthrough also wasn't perfectly optimized because this was the first time that I was doing this. I was doing a lot of experimenting as well. But, yeah, it still went pretty well for the most part. I just wasted a little bit of time here and there doing stuff that I didn't really have to do. Like, I will be getting the Stars emblem dongle, which you need in order to get the machine gun in Claire's game, and you need that in order to get the Magnum for Leon's game. But I end up not even getting the machine gun, so that was completely pointless for me to do. So that's something else that kind of makes this playthrough a little bit sloppy, but I think overall, as far as like the ball strategies and everything, it's pretty well done. But there are a few areas I could have improved on for obvious reasons. Again, this was the first time I tried no damage, and I was just going along and figuring things out as I went. So here, you want to take down these 2 zombies. You don't want them in this area because it's annoying having them there. The zombie on the floor especially, that dude, I don't know what it is about him. He always has like an insane amount of HP, and he just refuses to die. Oh, over here, this is the first pack that we are going to be picking up. The code for this locker is 9157. And this is the first side pack that we're going to be picking up. This is one of 2 that we will be picking up throughout this entire playthrough. I won't be picking another one up until almost the very end of the game, so for any of you guys who wanted more side packs, you will not be seeing those here. The code for this is Ned, and the other one is MRG. I always think of it kind of like The Simpsons, like Ned Flanders and Marge Simpson, so Ned and MRG. That's how I remember this code here. Even though The Simpsons hasn't been popular in like forever, but it was popular back when I was a kid, so I think it's a good way of remembering that. Nice mnemonic device there. So now that we have the extra part for the gun, it allows Claire to reload the gun a lot faster, and you're gonna need that on this difficulty because you don't want Claire sitting there fiddling with her gun for 5 hours, placing each bullet into the chamber. In this way, she'll put all the bullets into the chamber at once. So right here, what we need to do is lure this zombie back down to the bottom here. If he will come. There we go. So if you stand down here, he will just jump down for whatever reason. And you can get in some pretty nice shots on him. I also boarded up the window behind me because I didn't want that zombie coming through the window and taking me out or showing up later. I really wanted to clear a path through here that made things very easy, especially later on when Mr. X is here. Some of the enemy placements are different when Mr. X is around as well, but there are new enemies around. But as long as you deal with a lot of these zombies, you should be mostly good. I got pretty lucky with some of these headshots as well. As you can see, that zombie that was laying there is actually alive, and it will stand up later if you don't take it out there. So you definitely want to take it out. So the code for this locker is DCM. And in here is, I believe it's ammo for the machine gun. So this is the key that we wanted to get. So now that we have this key, we are going to head ourselves back downstairs because this is actually one of the harder areas to go through on this difficulty. And when doing a no damage playthrough anyway. When doing a no damage playthrough, this was one of the more difficult sections. It wasn't that difficult though. The most difficult section for me was way later when we are in the sewers, when dealing with those weird enemies. But we'll get to that when we get to it. So the code for that locker there was Cap. like Capcom, so you can easily remember it that way. And the DCM one I always remember by thinking about Devil May Cry, so I think DMC, and I'm like, oh yeah, but the C and the M are switched around, so again, more mnemonic devices to remember these codes. You don't really need to, you can just write all the codes down if you want, but that's how I like to remember stuff. So we are going to be unlocking this door, because I want to go straight to the other section of the police station. I was going to say of the mansion. I'm so used to saying mansion in these games. So we want to run to the right side of the police station, meet up with Leon. And the reason that we want to go over there is because there is a valve over there that's going to allow us to gain access to the stars room. So we very much need that. There's also a locker in here. The code for the locker in here is 6211, but I will not be getting that locker because I believe it is an add-on for the machine gun, and I'm not going to be getting the machine gun, even though I didn't know that at this point, but I wasn't really interested in unlocking that locker anyway. So we see Leon, all the zombies are starting to come toward the gate. We need to pick up the cutting tool, and we will be using this in order to pretty much get out of this police station, at least this beginning section of the police station, and gain access to the first boss. Because in order to leave the police station, we need 3 of the circular slabs, and in order to get those, we need to do a few little puzzles that are on statues, and I'll be telling you guys the answers for those very soon. This guy actually has ammo on him. There is gunpowder and such around here too, but unfortunately I don't believe that I picked them up because I just had exactly enough slots in order to get the items that I needed here. So I had to get that fuse and I had to get this valve. But there is actually a small and big gunpowder in here, which you can use to make acid rounds for the grenade launcher, which is pretty useful. It's always useful having more acid rounds, so I would suggest picking that up and making some space in order to pick that up if you're playing through this. But now that we have the valve, we are going to be going back into this area. So, oh wait, I think I need to put something away here. Okay. Yeah, so I don't really need this portable safe either. I'm going to be using that later, but I'm not going to be picking up the second portable safe. There is a second portable safe that is near the stars room, but getting that later when Mr. X is around is pretty annoying, so I will not be doing that either. You can actually get another side pack in there if you unlock the device, which has a button inside of it. So we need to go this way because we need to cut the chains that are on a door through here. Zombies are going to be popping out through the windows, so you definitely need to watch out through here. I'm going to be using a defense item as well. What you usually want to do here is shoot this guy's legs off so he gets knocked down, or stun him at least and run by him. That time I didn't actually stun him, but I did a pretty good job dodging him there, if I do say so myself. So this guy over here, I decided to use a defense item on. We're going to run straight by him, and we are going to be unlocking this door. So let's use the cutting tool, which is the same cutting tool from Resident Evil 7. There are a few little references here and there to Resident Evil 7 in this game. They actually have the mannequins from Resident Evil 7 in one room. So we no longer need the cutting tool. We unlocked everything that we could with it. And now we are going to be going upstairs into the room with the locker that we unlocked with the code CAP. So we're going to be doing that right now. I'm not sure if I go into the safe room here, though. I might go into the... Yeah, I did. There's actually gunpowder in this safe room. There's also a red herb. There are herbs pretty much everywhere. You're going to have more than enough health items in this game. Even on hardcore mode, I'm not sure if it changes on the other difficulties, but on hardcore mode, you'll have more than enough health items to deal with a lot of the stuff that the game is going to throw at you, so... Don't be too worried when playing through this game. I've seen a lot of people say that this game is like overly difficult, but I didn't find it overly difficult at all. I found it pretty challenging here and there, but I think it's a fair challenge for the most part. I don't think there's anything particularly cheap about this game. The only thing that's a little annoying, again, is later in the sewer section, and it's just the way that the characters jump up and down ledges. Sometimes it's really finicky. Sometimes the character just does not jump off the ledge properly. I wish you just hit a button and you jump off the ledge instead of holding forward on the analog stick. Something that kind of annoys me. Okay, so here's our first introduction to the liquor. Right here, the liquor is not going to notice you because it's doing kind of like a scripted sequence, so you can just run toward the stars room and be done with it. You don't have to watch that sequence. You don't have to sneak around either. The liquor just doesn't care about you. It's too busy being a badass there. So now that we got into the stars room, we got the battery for the detonator. There's also a few assorted items in here that you want to pick up. And this computer over here is where you're going to want to use the stars badge dongle. You plug it into there, you use the computer, it opens that door, and you can gain access to the machine gun. So now we are going to be running back out of the stars room. You can run straight out of here and run back. The liquor will not notice you if you do this, because you're outside of his range for whatever reason. However, if you go the other direction, you will have to either sneak around the liquor or you will have to kill it. Do whatever you want, but in our case, we don't really have to go that way, and we're never going to be going on that side of the police station again. So if we were going to get the machine gun, it would have been a good idea to unlock that, and if we wanted to get the other side back, it would have been a good idea to unlock the door on that side. But we will not be doing that. We're going straight over here, and we're going to be detonating the wall. So let us go do that right now. Of course, there's more items here, more ammo and such. So let's place the detonator here onto the C4. And what you're going to want to do here is run out of the room, because this shelf will actually fall down and barricade the door if you're still in the room when that explodes. So you're going to want to run out of the room, shoot this zombie in the head a bunch of times until he falls down. Once he falls down, that means he's completely dead, because if you don't shoot him down here, he will fall down when you solve the puzzle back here. And he will be a threat to you. You'll have to deal with him and the liquor. So I just want to deal with the liquor. I don't want to deal with this dude. So decided to shoot him down there. So the code for this one is the maiden, the bow, and the little snake, I think it is, or the snail. I don't know what that is. I think it's a snake, but you can see it on screen. So now that we've dealt with that, we are going to want to equip our flash grenades, and we are going to want to toss one over here at this liquor. And we are going to want to run out of this room as soon as we can, run as fast as you can, and we will never go into this room again throughout this entire playthrough. If you do go back into that room, you will have to deal with that liquor, so don't bother, don't do it. It's not worth it. So down here, there are two zombies that we want to take out, because going through here when Mr. X is here is going to be annoying enough. So, like, without the zombies, so having zombies here is just irritating. And once again, I got pretty lucky with that headshot. You want to shoot that zombie that I just got a headshot on, and you want to shoot this female zombie here. Take her down, because she can be really, really annoying when you're going through here. And you don't want to leave this to chance if you're doing no damage. If you aren't doing no damage, then I suppose you can do whatever you like. I still suggest killing these two zombies, though. It's just going to make things a lot easier later on. There is a zombie that's eating a corpse back there. I thought I had my knife equipped right there, and I wanted to make sure she was dead, so. And she ended up being dead, thankfully. She died pretty quickly as well. I got pretty lucky with those two. That zombie in particular is pretty annoying. Okay, so the code for this one is the fish, the scorpion, and the jug. And we will get the second slab that we need in order to get out of this police station. So what I'm going to do right here is just combine the two gunpowders in order to pick up the item that we need, the medallion. The door that we first saw the liquor, or the area that we first saw the liquor at, the door that unlocks if we kept going in that direction was the door that was near that statue that we just solved the puzzle for. So what you're going to want to do here is move this shelf to the left right now, and you want to move this shelf to the right. This is going to make things a lot easier to deal with when it comes to Mr. X. This zombie over here that's feasting on the other corpse, he will never bother you. He will never bother you whatsoever when you are running through here, as long as you don't get too close to him. So you don't really have to deal with him. Don't waste your ammo on him. He's fine. He's chilling there, eating his meal. So don't worry about that guy at all. Just keep moving on. Just don't get too close to him, and don't interrupt his meal. So we are going to be getting the last medallion here, and then we will be going up against the first boss of the game. So the code for this one is the lion, the leaf, and the bird. And once we do that, we will get the final medallion slab thing. And we will be able to go into the basement of the police station and leave this area behind. So that is the entirety of the intro police station. Again, I did a few things that I didn't necessarily have to do. Like I picked up this book here. I did not need to pick up that book because that book gives you you need to put that book on the statue. Once you put that book on the statue, it gives you the scepter, and you check the scepter and it gives you the red ruby, which is what I'm going to be doing right now, I believe. Again, this is something that you can completely skip. If you're following this playthrough, just go and place the medallions onto the area that you need to place them and leave the police station. But I was still under the impression that I was going to go back to the stars room at this point. This was definitely not worth it. Actually, no, it was worth it because I needed this in order to get the grenade launcher. So yeah, you do want to go up here. I knew there was at least some sort of secondary reason that I went up here. That was actually the primary reason that I went up here. But yeah, in order to solve this puzzle, all you need to do is combine those two, put this onto the statue, moves the arm, and he will give you the scepter. You examine the scepter, there's a button behind it, and then you click it and it gives you the ruby. So again, we didn't need to do that part. All we needed to do was get that key card. We want that key card because we want the grenade launcher. I actually should have gotten this earlier, but I suppose I was being super cautious here. And right here, I didn't know where that zombie was that I saw earlier, so I just wanted to make sure that he wasn't too close when I went back out through here. Don't want to get damaged, especially since I haven't saved yet, so there is one sequence where I haven't saved for quite a while, but we will get to that one when we get to it. It's gonna be fun, it's gonna be fun. So now we are going back downstairs. I am also going to pick up the item inside of my item box. I forgot what it was called. It's that little sequencer thing that we need to do the puzzle on in order to unlock the little button. Because we're going to be going into that room very soon. Yeah, the portable safe. So the portable safe, you need to examine it. And there's a little puzzle that you need to do that's randomized. I fast forwarded it so that you guys didn't have to watch me fiddle around with this thing too much. But again, it's always randomized and you always have to do it by memory. It's kind of annoying, but whatever. So we got the square part, which we can use as a button. And we are going to be going into that room right now, the locker room. The police locker room that has some ammunition and some weapons. So this zombie has risen from his slumber, so what I want to do is just shoot down his legs. And I'm just going to run by him. I'm not going to bother with that guy. The zombie that's sleeping or laying down on the right, that's just laying on that desk over there, he will not bother you as long as you don't run past him. As long as you don't run directly past him, he will never get up. So what you want to do here is 102, 106, and I believe 109. You don't need to do 106. 106 is just a film. You can get that film there, but it's not necessary for this playthrough, so I'm not getting it. If you're trying to get all of the items, or all of the files, that is, you will need to use 106, but as you can see, I didn't want that thing. It's just going to be a waste of inventory space anyway. So let's use this, and we will be gaining access to the amazing grenade launcher, which is going to be helping us quite a bit throughout this playthrough. I love me the grenade launcher. The flame rounds are especially useful for the bosses in this game. William Birkin is actually weak against the flame rounds. The flame rounds do a lot of damage to him. The only issue with the flame rounds, though, is that they do cumulative damage over time. So, in spite of the fact that you hit him, it takes a little bit for it to do the full damage because it's burning him after a while. So, as you can see, I ran past that zombie that was laying on the desk, and he finally got up. I didn't really see an issue with that. I will be running through there again, but it's not too difficult to deal with those guys, so especially since one of them is on the ground with his leg off, so not too much of an issue there. So now that we have the grenade launcher, we can go and pick up the medallions in order to place them all into the statue and get out of the police station. And right here I'm trying to figure out what I need to do. I figured that I'd be saving the game soon, but I actually should not have saved the game yet. I shouldn't have saved the game until after the William boss battle. So that's my first suggestion here of something that you guys should do. Instead of saving it before the boss battle, you should save it after the William boss battle, because it's a super easy boss battle. And even if you get hit, it's really not that big of a deal to go through all this again. I've redone this since this playthrough, and it's not bad at all. I can get through this in like 10 to 15 minutes now. Again, I was figuring out a path when I was playing through it here, but yeah, you will see my costume change as well. I decided to change the costume, as I said earlier, back to the other version of Claire, because I want to see her in her, you know, brand new 3D Resident Evil engine goodness, as opposed to the PSX goodness from back in the day. So again, here's our first save. I shouldn't have held that entire ink ribbon there either. And there we go. That is the first save for our hardcore mode, no damage as plus playthrough. So now we are going after William Birkin. So the thing with William Birkin is, obviously his giant eye is weak. There is actually an exploit that you can use on the PC version of the game. If you have a very good PC, you can easily run this game at like 120 frames per second. And the thing about the frame rate in this game is that it actually increases the damage that your knife does. So if you're playing on PC and you have the game running at like 120 frames per second, you can actually take down William with nothing but the knife. You wouldn't need two knives though, but if you have two knives equipped, all you need to do is swing at him constantly and he will die just from that. But unfortunately, we are playing on the Xbox One X. It runs at 60 frames per second. I'm not sure how much of a difference 60 does as opposed to the 120, but the 120 does a huge difference when it comes to the damage on this guy. But yeah, so as soon as this guy shows up, we're going to want to start knifing him. I'm not sure how much damage this does, but I do it anyway because it seems to help a lot with the amount of ammo that you use later. So I'm gonna knife him until he grabs me. Once he grabs me, I'm gonna stab him in the eye. And now that I did that, I'm just gonna be shooting him with my weapons. Oh yeah, also I used a grenade as well, just to do some extra damage on him. So now that we've done that, we're going to want to back up. We're going to need to circle him around this area, but you need to watch out when running around here because it's very easy to get stuck on walls and everything. So don't let William get too close to you. Shoot him a bunch of times and start shooting him with the grenade launcher. It shouldn't take that many shots to take him down. I tried to use a variety of ammo here because I didn't want to straight up just use the grenade launcher on him, because I wanted to save some grenade ammo for later on in the game. So not that you don't get enough. I mean, you get quite a bit of grenade launcher ammo, especially if you pick up all of the gunpowder. You can make quite a bit of ammo, acidic rounds for the grenade launcher. So I'm trying to get in some pretty good shots on the eye, and I'm just trying to bait him around here. Again, he's not too bad to dodge. He doesn't really have any attacks that are really difficult. However, every so often he does this where he just does not let up on you, so you just have to keep running. And when he transforms like this, it's a very, very easy time to start popping him in the eye. Pretty good stuff. I actually think this boss is a lot easier with Leon. Usually with Leon, I knife him a bunch of times and shoot him in the eye with the Magnum like 6 or 7 times and he's done for. As long as you're aiming directly at the eye, it actually takes like 6 shots to take him down, but with Claire, it'll take a little bit more. Depending on what items you're using anyway. Alright, let's just keep dodging and blasting him. He actually, I mean, he buffers his attacks quite a bit, so it shouldn't be too difficult to deal with him. It's not like dealing with Mr. X later on in the game where with Leon, because the Mr. X boss battle at the end of Leon's campaign, Jesus, dealing with that dude and dodging him is a pain. So over here, we're just going to be running around and picking up all the items around here, so I decided to fast forward this. I also picked up the knife that I was using as well. But yeah, all around this area, there are pistol ammo, and there is pistol ammo, and there is a grenade as well. So be sure to pick all that up. Just run around the outsides of the area, and you'll get all of that. And once you're done, you just climb up here. And we will follow Sherry in a moment. There's actually gunpowder inside of this locker. And there's nothing else in here. There is an herb, but again, we're doing no damage, so we don't need no goddamn herbs. Let's keep going. And of course, I'm skipping all the cutscenes here, just in case anyone wants to experience the game for themselves. I don't really feel like showing all the cutscenes as well. It would have been annoying going through all this again. And doing the cutscenes at the same time. I'd rather not do that. I like to just get through the game as quickly as possible. So, even though we just met Sherry, we will be losing her very soon because the police chief is going to take her away from us. And for the most part, Sherry's pretty decent to deal with in this game. It's not like in the original version of Resident Evil 2. In that locker that I just opened up, there's actually an ink ribbon. So if you need more ink ribbons, you can be sure to pick one up in there. But obviously, I only needed the 3 ink ribbons. So, and right now I only have 2 more saves, so I didn't really need to pick that up. So you want to climb up here, skip all the cutscenes. I really love Claire and Sherry's relationship in this game. I think they have like a big sister, little sister bond here. That's pretty nice to see. I think Claire's amazing in this game. I love her in this game. Goddamn badass in this game. Especially at the end with the train sequence. Oh my god, so badass. But yeah, anyway, as I was saying, Sherry in this game is a lot easier to deal with, especially during the A game as opposed to the original game. In the original game, when she got infected by William Birkin, it was really, really annoying because she would bend down on the floor every so often when you're running around, so you had to run back, get her to follow you again, and then it was really annoying. And sometimes she would get stuck on zombies when you're dodging them and stuff. And she would just sit in the middle of hordes of zombies, and you're just like, God damn it, Sherry, why you do this? So we wanted to go in this room because there is grenade launcher ammo, and there was also a key that we could get. That key will allow us to gain access to a, I was going to say a garage, Jesus Christ, to a trunk of a car. Oh, also in this room there are 2 lickers. You're going to want to walk through here. We don't want to deal with these lickers. We don't want to kill them. We don't want to waste ammo on them. So just walk through this room. When we come back into this room, we're going to bait one of the lickers and then walk out of the room in order to reset their position so that we can sneak past them again. You will be seeing that very soon. But yeah, as I was saying, we needed a key in order to gain access to a trunk of a car. And that car actually has another gun, a gun that has a laser dot sight on it, which will make things very easy for the dogs coming up later in Claire's campaign. If you don't have that laser dot sight gun, it can make it really annoying dealing with the dogs, and we want to kind of snipe the dogs from a distance because the dogs are very erratic enemies. They're probably the most difficult enemies to deal with when doing no damage because they're super difficult to aim at when they get close to you. Like they just run everywhere. It's ridiculous. So we're getting the diamond key in here. We're going to need that to unlock a door a little outside of this area. Once you pick up that key, the zombies will get up, just like in the original version of RE2. But it's pretty easy to just run out of there. So right here, we're going to get close enough to the licker to gain his attention for him to smell us. Once he does that, we're going to walk out of the room, wait a few seconds, and we are going to walk back into the room. His position is going to be reset. Him and his friend will be on that wall right there. Every time I've done this, they've both been on that same wall. I don't know why, but it's just what they do. So once they're on the wall, just stay all the way to the left and slowly walk past them, and you should be able to get past this without much trouble. Out here also, you do not want to run because there is another licker, and he is on the ceiling right here. You're going to want to walk past him, either go to the left or the right wall, walk past him. If your head touches him while he kind of puts his head down like that, he will be alerted and you will be in a world of hurt. So be sure to avoid him at all costs. Jesus Christ. So we need to examine this key. We will unlock the trunk of this police car. And we will be picking up this laser dot sight gun. So with this gun, you never need to wait until the reticule gets tiny or anything. Wherever you aim with this gun is exactly where your bullets will go. So that's the good thing about the gun. It's pretty good, but it's also kind of weak compared to the S whatever the hell it is that Claire has, the Magnum looking gun that she has. It's kind of weak compared to it, but it makes up for that weakness with accuracy. So depending on what you really care for, you can pick one or the other. It's the SLS 60, that's what it is. So over here, we have parts for the grenade launcher, which will make it aim easier. And we will not be attaching that to the grenade launcher until I think the boss battle in the sewers. So the reason that we're not going to be attaching that to the grenade launcher is because it makes the grenade launcher take up 2 slots in the inventory. And we are going to be needing that extra slot in the inventory while we run around the police station during this time, especially since Mr. X is going to be chasing us around at this point. So yeah, it's not really necessary at this point either to have that attached, because we're not really dealing with that anything particularly dreadful when going into police station, and since the hallways are so narrow, it's not very difficult to aim at anything, even if you're using the grenade launcher here, which I would not suggest. I don't suggest using the grenade launcher right now. So I'm going to be making some acid rounds, and I'm going to be tossing those. I'm going to be saving all those acid rounds for boss battles, and for the most part I'm going to be saving the grenade launcher for boss battles. But there is an area in the sewers where I'm going to be using the grenade launcher just to take down zombies, because I don't want to deal with them when running through there. Again, that's probably the hardest section to go through no damage in this game, at least in Claire's game anyway. With Leon, it's a completely different story. It's actually some of the bosses that are the most difficult part. The final two bosses, not including the final boss on the train, which is more of a set piece than anything. But yeah, Leon's last 2 bosses is very difficult to deal with. No damage, since he can't stun the... I think it's G4, or is it G3? I don't remember. It's the last version of G that you fight before he becomes the giant blob on the train. With Leon, anyway. With Claire, she fights another G at the very end. With her badass Gatling gun. Claire's a fucking badass in this game. Okay, so we needed to get the heart key in order to unlock the door over here. So now we have the heart and the diamond key. I do not believe we will be using the diamond key again, though, because actually I think I put away the diamond key because I'm not using it again. So I actually ended up running down here. This is something that you do not have to do with Claire. Do not do this if you're doing no damage and you don't intend on getting the machine gun. If you do intend on getting the machine gun, then you do need to do this, because there is a little box in here that you can place the ruby onto, and it will give you the dongle that you need in order to use in the stars room. So yeah, there's the box. Once you go in here, it's like the original game where the liquor will pop out the side, and you need to get out of the room as soon as possible when that happens. I accidentally picked up that ink ribbon as well, so I discarded it there. And I figured I'd just board up that door for the hell of it, because I'm never going to be boarding anything else up again. So, if you weren't going to be getting that item, you didn't need to do this. You would just run straight upstairs, pick up the... there's actually a box in one of the rooms. You'll see it very soon. There's a box and there's a gear that we need to get. And then there's one more thing that we need to get in order to completely leave the police station. But Mr. X is going to be thwarting our progress very, very soon. It's going to be a fun time. So over here, there's a flash grenade. I do believe there's pistol ammo in here. Yeah, there we go. So there are 2 zombies in this room. You want to kill these 2 zombies because we are going to be running through this room again when Mr. X is after us, and we just don't want to deal with these guys. These guys are, for some reason, sometimes this guy's in really random positions for me. And I was really surprised to see him just like roaming around there for no reason. So I decided to just bait him to come out of the door here and kill him this way. Again, you really want to take down these 2 guys, especially since that room has so many blind spots in it. It's not optimal to have these guys roaming around in there when you want to maneuver around and such. So let's take this dude down. Come on, buddy. Come on. I don't know what it was about him. He just refused to come over here near the staircase. Thankfully, I was able to shoot both his legs down, but I do not believe he was actually dead here. I knew I should have checked and shot him again, but I didn't. I was kind of careless, and he ends up roaming around a little later, like crawling around the ground. And thankfully, he didn't grab me. When they grab you from the ground, I don't think it's possible to use defense items. So it's very dangerous to have zombies roaming around on the ground that aren't dead, because they can easily grab you and your no damage playthrough is done completely and you have to restart. And it's pretty annoying, to say the least. So here's the second zombie. This guy is usually over here. He was roaming around a little earlier, but he decided to reset his position for whatever reason, thankfully. So again, we're going to go for the legs, shoot them down. That's what I usually do. Sometimes I go for the heads, depending on how far the zombies are from me. But going for straight headshots can be kind of annoying. So this guy is completely dead, but the other one is not. But yeah, going for straight up headshots can be inconsistent, and since the zombies will keep coming at you no matter how many headshots that you throw at them until they, until either the head explodes or they get knocked down, it's better to just knock them down first by shooting them in the kneecaps. It's just safer that way, in my opinion. So now that we knocked these 2 down, we're going to be picking up the gear here. We also picked up that box that was in the other room. This gear does take up 2 positions in the inventory, which is another reason that we did not want the upgraded grenade launcher going. And thankfully I was able to burst his head there, but yeah, there was that zombie. He was plain dead. And I decided to check this dude again just in case he was still alive, and thankfully he's not. I didn't want that happening to me again when I run through later on. And if I were to get grabbed at that point, I would have been pretty annoyed. Not that it's too difficult to go through this, but sucks when you have a pretty good run going and something grabs you and you're just like, come on, fucking bullshit, dude. Okay, so now we are near where the helicopter crashed earlier on, and we need to put out the fire. So in order to do that, we need to run down here and change the pipes that the water is going to flow through. And there are 2 zombies down here that we need to take out as well. We don't need to completely take them out. You can just like knock down their legs or something. But I'm not sure exactly how I dealt with these 2. I might have killed her and like knocked the other dude's leg off and just ran around him. But I don't know what it is about these 2 zombies in particular. They seem to be like OP. Especially in Leon's campaign, because in Leon's campaign, these 2 zombies actually burst out of that door up there. You can actually go into that door that's straight ahead. And you need to get a key in there that's like taped up on a whiteboard. But yeah, for whatever reason, those 2 zombies, like they just refuse to go down. Even with headshots with the shotgun, I don't know what it is about those 2. So during my playthrough, I decided to just grenade those 2 and run past them. I pretty much have the entirety of my Leon no damage B game playthrough done as well. I just need to finish the final Mr. X boss, and that'll be it. So yeah, it wasn't too difficult going through these games. No damage with the S+ rank. I thought it was going to be a little harder, but it's a lot like playing the original versions of these games, where as long as you know exactly what you're doing, and as long as you know which items that you need to take with you, for the most part you're good. There are little random variables that you have to deal with in regards to the hit power of the zombies, but for the most part you can consistently get around things, which is pretty nice. So this is our first encounter with Mr. X. This is his introduction in the A game. It's a really cool introduction too. You're just running through and you're just like, holy shit, what the hell? And he's lifting up the freaking helicopter there. So right here, I lost him somehow, but he finally ended up seeing me, so decided to dodge around him. This guy can be very relentless, and if you didn't move the bookshelves in the way that I did earlier, you are not going to have a very good time when dealing with Mr. X. I will tell you that much. So what we are doing right now is we need to go back downstairs because we have this heart key, and the heart key has a jack that we can attach to one of the bookshelves in order to lower it so we can move all three at once. Or so we can move the last one at least to the position that we want. At this point, if you run by Marvin, I'm pretty sure he gets up, so I decided to just run around him. Don't want another zombie roaming around here, so. But yes, Mr. X will randomly show up in different areas depending on where you are at this point in the game, and he is just something that you need to be very wary of, but he's not too difficult to get around for the most part. There are certain areas that he will just automatically show up in, like once I get that jack for the bookshelf, he will always show up in that room. He would just teleport there for whatever reason, and you will have to dodge around him. However, with Leon, when you get it, for some reason, it's pretty randomized whether or not he'll show up. But with Leon, it's a lot more difficult because there's actually a liquor in the area that we need to go to in order to get the jack. It's usually a liquor and a bunch of zombies through there. But yeah, I mean, with Claire, we do have a liquor to deal with, but it's just not, it's nowhere near as bad as it is with Leon because the hallway that we need to run through with Leon is a lot longer. The way I did it was pretty clutch, I'm not gonna lie. Oddly enough, I don't know where this zombie went. The zombie that got up on this side, I have no idea where he went. However, you need to be careful when walking out here now because there are lickers roaming around. So that's the reason that I was just walking through there. If I didn't walk, I would have been screwed. So we used up the heart key, and we have the tool, the jack tool, and there's also a grenade. So now that we picked that up, Mr. X is going to show up. Again, for whatever reason, he just shows up in this area as soon as you get that jack. He's just pissed off that you got it, and he doesn't want you leaving here. He wants you dead, so you want to run out of there. Once you run out of there, walk through here, because if you don't, you will be attacked by the liquor. As soon as you get out of there, run as fast as you can and escape this area. And we are going to be running upstairs to the library. Mr. X is still after us, but even if he is, it's pretty easy to deal with now because we don't have to circle him around or anything. We're just going to use the jack and move these two bookshelves at the same time. So let's do that. We put them all in the positions that they need to be placed in. So we just need to move them once. So you just move this one over to the right, and there you go, done. Now we run up the stairs, or we run up the ladder. That is an area in particular, or yeah, that is a little thing in particular that a lot of people have difficulty doing because they usually have all the bookshelves in random spots and they have to move them all one by one, and Mr. X is continuously coming after them. So it can be a little bit of a clusterfuck, but if you do it properly, it's pretty easy. So I want to shoot this guy in order to get by him, because we need to go in here. This is one of the rooms that Mr. X can't actually show up in. He can't show up in this room. He cannot go into safe rooms, obviously. He can't go into the stars room. And there might be another room, but I can't remember it at the moment. But yeah, we need to use the gears here. So firstly, you need to put the large gear there. Once it lowers the stairs, you need to pick it back up. Then we need to run up here in order to get the small gear. We'll pick that baby up and we will place the large gear here now, and we will leave it there. And then we need to place the small gear back downstairs, and that'll be the end of this puzzle. Not too difficult. It's pretty simple Resident Evil style stuff here. I just really love the way this game retained the entire feel of the original titles. It's so well done. It's such a good game. I fucking love this game. Okay. So now that we did that, we got the second box that we need. But, yeah, there it is. So that's the second box that we needed to pick up. Inside of those boxes are little fuse things that we need to use in order to gain access to a door, which has a key card in it, which will allow us to leave the police station. So we want to run back here. There is Gunpowder. And now that we have that, we are going to be running back to that safe room that the police chief's office, that was the police chief's office back in the original version of Resident Evil 2. So Mr. X is walking around here. I wanted to watch out because there's zombies here as well, so I wanted to at least knock one of them down. Again, Mr. X is still running around. I'm trying to knock these dudes down and just run by them because I don't want to get punched by Mr. X. X gonna give it to ya, indeed. So let's unlock this door. This was the door where we killed these two zombies earlier. So again, this is the reason that we did it, so that we don't have to deal with any randomness in regards to those zombies, have them standing right in front of the doorway or something when we pass through there and completely screw up our run. So Mr. X is still after me, but thankfully he can't come into this room because it's a safe room. So now that that's done, we will be using those two box electronic parts. But I don't know what I'm doing here, honestly. Oh, I need to pick up the JMB HP3 because we are going to be using that once we leave the police station because there are a bunch of dogs roaming around. And I'm also combining stuff for whatever reason. I don't know why. Actually, that right there... Wait, what's that? No. Okay. No, I'm thinking of my Leon playthrough. There's actually a point in my Leon playthrough where I make pistol ammo accidentally. It's a complete accident. So yeah, we're going to be picking up the laser dot sight pistol. And that's pretty much... We're going to need that, and we're going to need all of the ammo that we have for the pistol. Just in case we run out, which you'll pretty much never run out of that ammo when dealing with the dogs. But just in case you're just really horrible at shooting, just want to take some extra just in case. So we need to examine the backs of these in order to open them up, and we are going to be using these very, very soon. Also take some defense items just in case, whatever you like. I would suggest you taking the knife and saving a lot of the flash grenades because we will be using the flash grenades pretty often, as well as actually save a lot of the normal grenades, the green ones, because we are going to be using those on the final boss. Have at least 6 of those ready for the final boss of Claire's campaign. So we have a little puzzle here. We need to make sure all the wires are connected to the end over there. I wish this puzzle was done a little differently. I wish that the wires didn't light up until you had things properly set, because having them all lit up like this at once is kind of confusing. But in either case, you'll get through this puzzle pretty quickly. I don't know what the hell I'm doing here. I'm taking way too long. I should have fast forwarded this, honestly. But yeah, there you go. That's that puzzle. And now we are going to be going to the Sherry section of the game, which is a pretty cool section. It's completely different from how it was in the original Resident Evil 2, where Sherry and Ada pretty much go through the same area, but they have completely brand new areas here, and Sherry was taken to this... wait, what was this place? It was like an adoption center or something? I don't remember. Or it's an orphanage. Jesus, I'm an idiot. But yeah, it's an orphanage. And she was taken here by the police chief. Apparently this is where a lot of experimentation was going on. Like, they were using the children as test subjects. Umbrella was. It's pretty dark stuff. It's pretty awesome too. Like, if you read a lot of the notes that are left around, they're using the children as test subjects. Jesus, can't speak today. But yeah, they're using orphan children as test subjects for their viruses. Pretty dark stuff. I love it though. Okay, so this puzzle always has the same solution. However, the placement of all the little blocks will be different every time. However, in order to consistently get this puzzle done, you need to look at the shapes on the right of the boxes. So the boxes have shapes on the left sides and the right sides of them. So always look at the shapes on the right sides of each of the blocks, because those are the ones that are going to tell you where you need to place each of the boxes, or the blocks rather. So the first block will have a triangle and a square on the right side of it. The second box will have a circle and a star on the right side of it, and the last one that you need to switch around will have a star and a square, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, I might be mistaken here. I don't know. I can't remember exactly. I'm doing it from memory. But yeah, just pay attention to those. If you look at a finished version of the puzzle, all you need to do is look at a picture of it and you'll be able to figure out what needs to go where. But again, the blocks are always randomized, so it's usually not too bad. But Sherry's area in this game is pretty much a stealth section. It's not too difficult to deal with. She just has that little puzzle, and then you just have to hide from the police chief for a little while, get his key, and then you will be out of here. But Ada's section is more interesting. It feels faster because there's not much waiting around. But I do like this section. I like the entire feel of it. I like the orphanage. I like all of the lore that you read about the orphanage, and just looking at the orphanage, it's just pretty crazy to look at. And again, the fact that they're testing freaking orphan kids, it's just so dark and so hilariously umbrella that, I don't know, I just can't get over that. Okay, so the police chief is going to be chasing us. We're going to be running through here. Let's bend under here. And we need to hide back behind these shelves. So we're going to be doing a little bit of waiting around here. It's pretty easy to dodge the police chief. It's not like, you know, Metal Gear or anything, you know. It's pretty basic stealth section, but I think it's pretty cool. It reminds me a little bit of Resident Evil 7, if I'm being honest, kind of hiding from Jack Baker.
It's all over now.
At least in the beginning of the game, when you don't have much ammo. Later on, you'll be able to tear Jack Baker up, but that's for another day. Speaking of which, I need to do a no damage playthrough of that game. I think whenever I do a no damage playthrough of RE7, I'm gonna do it in VR. That's gonna be pretty fun. Just the aiming in VR is so good. It's just there's no comparison. You can aim so well in the VR version of Resident Evil 7. Okay, so you're gonna want to go around these little drawers here, these shelves. Or dressers, rather. He's going to walk around there. He's going to unlock a path. Then he's going to walk back. Once he starts walking back, you can start walking away. He's going to fall over because his face is hurting him after Sherry tossed that chemical at his face. So when you're walking through here, you're going to want to wait a few seconds because he will flash his grenade on this left side of the room. While he's doing that, you can actually get caught if you're close enough to it, so you need to watch out. Once he's done flashing it on the left side of the room, you can just go straight to this area. Hide behind this table. He will walk through here, fall over because of the pain from the chemical from earlier. Just stay in this spot, do not move. Do not move until the cutscene plays. If you move toward him or anything when he falls over, you will be caught, so just stick to this section, stick to this little area here. And as you can see, he falls over. See, if he runs into you while he's doing that, he will catch you. So, yeah. Once he's in the bathroom washing his face, pick up the key that he left in the door, then just start running out of here. Just run straight out of here.
Fuck is my key?
It's pretty easy to run away from him here too. I've never been caught in this section, so we really shouldn't have trouble here. The hardest part is just dealing with that beginning section when he can catch you when you're hiding behind the dressers and such. So let's unlock this door. You cannot unlock the front door, so don't even bother because the front door is chained up. So just run straight toward this door.
I'm coming, Sherry.
First time through, I actually tried to run out the front door, didn't know it was chained up. And that was pretty surprising. At the same time, it wasn't very surprising. But yeah, that's the end of the Sherry section. Pretty cool section. I just don't like the waiting around. That's why I like the Ada section better, because I can just run through. But I do like the overall atmosphere of the Sherry area. It's pretty nice. And it doesn't take very long for the most part, but I just don't like waiting around. Kind of annoys me. Okay, so now we have the parking lot key, so we can finally get out of here. And we're almost completely out of the police station. So I can hear Mr. X walking around out there, but we don't have to deal with Mr. X again, or do we? Or do we? So we have everything that we need. I really didn't need to be carrying that grenade launcher ammo either. I don't know why I'm carrying that, but whatever. It's all good. I don't really need many spaces. So we're going back into the garage. And we need to use this key card on the panel that we used it on earlier before Sherry got taken. So let's use that key card right now. And uh-oh, Mr. X has shown up. Yes, as soon as you unlock that, Mr. X will appear here. He will be chasing you through here, so you're going to want to bait him around. You actually don't have to run this far out to bait him around. You can honestly stay pretty near the gate and bait him around, but I just wanted to be super safe about this. The reason that I equipped the flash grenades is because I'm going to purposefully use a defense item on the 2 zombies that are up here. You can actually, if you want to anyway, if you don't want to waste a defense item, you can actually bait these 2 zombies out from the gate, try to get them to follow you, but you will also have to be baiting Mr. X around, which will be pretty annoying. So that's the reason I just decided to run straight into this dude, use a defense item, and run past him. Once you get to this area right here, Mr. X will no longer be following you, so you don't really have to worry about anything. However, you will be worrying about dogs, which is why we have this new gun with us. This is pretty much the only time we will be using this gun. This is what it's useful for. This is its only use as far as my playthrough goes, so we will be trying to snipe all the dogs that we can from up here. There are a few scripted dogs as well that we will need to shoot once we get near them, which is pretty unfortunate. But for the most part, we will be able to take down a few of them here, just to make things a little easier for us. You also need to watch out because there is a zombie down here, and she's been alerted to me, so I'm just going to knock her down. I believe I actually kill her completely, because I don't want to deal with any ankle biters rather. She might still be alive there, honestly, but I can't remember. Can't remember exactly. I remember my Leon playthrough more than this one, because I did that more recently. I did this one, I think, Friday or Saturday? Can't remember. Maybe Sunday. But I did Leon Sunday as well. I think I did both of these on the same day. Can't remember. Been too much schoolwork this week, so. In any case, that dog will always show up once you jump off of that garbage can thing. And over here, as soon as you come over here, this dog will show up on top of this car. So shoot him down. Unfortunately, he fell all the way back, which was pretty startling to me because I wanted him on top of that car to kill him quickly, but he flew completely off and it kind of made it a little more difficult. Either way, though, once we go through this gate, there will be 3 zombie dogs out here. We want to deal with them all. You also need to watch out because they can climb these gates. So just shoot them as quickly as you can. The 3rd one should be back here somewhere. And there's one last thing that we have to deal with in this section, which is the school bus. And in the school bus is a zombie. So we need to deal with that zombie. And as far as I know, there are no more dogs. Like, you do hear dog sounds though, but you don't really see them. Unless there are dogs there. Like, there's dog sounds right now, as you can hear. But once I go out there, I didn't see anything. So this guy, I really wanted to make sure he was dead because I didn't want him grabbing my legs. Right here, I'm thinking there's dogs around. I'm hearing dogs, but I'm not seeing dogs. I run outside, I still don't see anything. I'm hearing stuff. So I just decided to start running in kind of like a spiral pattern, and I got out of there. So I think I killed them all. I'm not sure though. I'm not sure if that dog sound is just for added effect or if there were actually dogs out there. I couldn't tell you. I'm gonna have to do a playthrough with like the super weapons and just stand there and look around to see if there are any dogs still around. But if not, then that's about it. So here's the police chief. It's pretty hilarious that his face still moves while you're skipping the cutscene. So we are going to be meeting up with Sherry now. And once we do, an old friend is going to show up. I don't know how he found us, but we're going to need to run away from his ass.
Sherry, where are you? Claire,
This area is pretty cool as well.
Sherry, I'll be right
It's not
there.
as gothic looking as it was in the original version of Resident Evil 2. Or like Resident Evil 2 OG, like this bottom area, the police chief's freaking like his office, it looked like a torture chamber. Like an old like freaking
Keep going.
like 10,000 BC torture chamber or something, or AD rather. In either case, we run away from Mr. X. That was the last encounter with Mr. X that we will be having in the A game. So this will be where our second save is. However, I will suggest that you guys maybe want to save, if you're not doing no damage anyway. I would suggest saving a little after this. Once we get past all these zombies in the room upstairs, you will want to bring some defense items with you. We will be putting away this pistol as well. We will never be using this pistol again. So yeah, we won't need that. However, we will need the grenade launcher, because we're going to be using the grenade launcher to take down a bunch of zombies. Right here, I was contemplating as to whether or not I should even save here. But I figured, you know what, it's not too much to deal with. Even if you do save here, I just have to run past a bunch of zombies, so it's not too much if I have to restart or anything. So I mean, for the most part, I think I made the right decision. But in either case, if you don't want to run past these zombies every time, if you're gonna have to restart or something, then you can save after this. But if you want to be on the safer side, I suppose you can save here. But I would honestly suggest saving after this, because getting the pattern down for some of the weird G creatures in the water can be a little annoying, and having to run back all the way from here can be quite annoying as well. So I don't know, it's whatever you want to do, it's your prerogative. So again, this is my second save, so here we go, save number 2, and now we're gonna move on. Okay, so I'm just putting away a few of the items that I don't need. We are not going to need too much when we're going through here. We're mostly going to be using the grenade launcher. We will need the pistol though. We will need a handgun. So because we're going to be shooting the G creatures who are in the water when they're just floating around like Ninja Turtles. So we're going to shoot them in the back and then run around them when they do that. So we're not going to be wanting to use grenade launcher ammo for that, obviously. So this is the hardest section to do, in my opinion, on Claire's game, no damage. And that was just because I had to figure out exactly how to dodge the why do I keep saying Z creatures? The G creatures. I had to figure out how to dodge the G creatures consistently. And I experimented a little bit there. In this room, there are 3 zombies. For Leon, there are no zombies in this room for whatever reason. I don't know why, but for some reason with Claire, there are zombies in that room. But I would suggest you guys save when you first get down here, because all you need to do is just run into that guy, use a defense item, and move on. It would have been better if I didn't use that defense item, though. I did a few times, like when I was experimenting around. I did dodge all of those guys a few times, but couldn't really consistently do that one, and I wasn't really interested in consistently dodging those guys. I was more interested in dodging the G creatures, because they are a real pain in the ass. So we need to lower this platform over here, this bridge platform, and we need to run back here in order to pick up the tool. And we're going to be using this to access certain areas of the sewers. So Definitely gonna need that. There's actually a safe over there, but we will be getting that later. So for right now, we're gonna be dealing with enemies. There are 2 zombies right here. I usually try to get them both with a single grenade blast. I'm not sure if I actually succeeded in this one. I think I might have, or maybe not. Yeah, I did. Okay. It can be a little random as to whether or not both of those guys die from a single shot. You really need to shoot that grenade close to both of them in order to do it. And even when you do, sometimes one of them just doesn't get completely engulfed in flames, so you might have to use an extra grenade launcher shot in order to kill both of those guys. But the reason that I shot that other guy is because he will be up roaming around if you don't shoot him as well, so decided to take him out. And I believe there's one more zombie that I'm going to be killing with the grenade launcher, so not too bad. Just use up 3 grenade shots, and for the most part I didn't really need them, so I will be needing them for the boss, but as long as you don't use too many there, you're good. And here we go, the most annoying part for me to figure out. So what you need to do here in order to do no damage is shoot this guy in the back. Once he pops up, you want to run by him. For this guy, you need to bait him into doing this attack. Once he does it, run into a circle and move back. Sometimes he will do the grab, and sometimes he will do like this falling elbow attack. Whichever one he does, you will be able to dodge him in the same way. So that was one of the more annoying sections for me to deal with, even though I made it look easy, and I can do that pretty consistently at this point. Just figuring out how to dodge the one guy that I had to bait was pretty annoying, because sometimes I would be able to get past him if I just ran to the left side, but then other times he would just grab me from there, and I just did not understand why that was the case. So I figured that baiting him would be the best option to move forward with, so that's what I ended up going with, and I can do it pretty consistently now. For the first guy that's in the water though, if you want to dodge him, you do need to wait a few seconds after you shoot him from under the water, because if you run toward him while he's popping out of the water, it will actually stun Claire, and that will leave you susceptible to being grabbed. So there's a little bit of timing going on here. And of course, I think that was the last zombie. No, that wasn't the last zombie that I killed. There's one more zombie that I end up killing with the grenade launcher. So that's 4 grenade shots that we will be using here. I just didn't feel like using the pistol. I didn't feel like waiting around for these guys. So, and of course, there's a little puzzle down here. It's not really difficult. You just place the queen here. You place the king over here. Then you run back, take the queen, and then you run back through this gate that opened and take the king, and you're good. You can actually unlock a door here too. I ended up not unlocking it because I'm never coming back here, so I didn't really see any reason to do so. It would have been cool. I'm not sure if that's the case. I wonder if, like, if you unlock that door with Claire, would it be open with Leon? That would have been a cool thing. That's one of the things that they didn't really do in this game. There were certain little things that you could do in the original version of Resident Evil 2 that would affect the B game. So, for instance, there was a side pack that you could pick up. If you picked it up with one character, you could not pick it up with the other character in the B game. Or if you left it with one character, you would be able to pick it up with the other character. It's stuff like that. Like, you can't really do that in this game. So this guy ended up stunning me, so I decided to shoot him with the electric charge shot. However, while I was shooting him, I noticed that this guy was moving toward me, so I decided to just stun him there and run past him. That was probably one of the more sloppy ways to get through this. Usually when I go through here, it's pretty easy. I just stick to the left wall, and they don't really show up, but for some reason they were roaming around close to there. With this guy, you're going to want to jump up onto this platform. And this is something else that annoys me. Sometimes I'm running directly toward there and Claire just does not jump down. Claire or Leon. With Leon, I had a more annoying time jumping down there. But also with Leon, there's a zombie that will get up at this point when you're on that platform. So you're going to want to headshot that zombie with the shotgun before running down through there. But we'll go over that when I'm playing through my Leon game, when I upload that for you guys. But for now, we'll just deal with Claire because that's what we're playing through right now. So there's one more of these G monsters that we have to deal with. Just stick to the left side and you won't be stunned or anything. Run past them, get onto this platform, use this little valve handle thing. It's not really a valve, I don't know. I always call it the crank because it kind of makes the same noise that the crank does in the older Resident Evil games. Love me the crank. There is also ammo here on top of that barrel down there, but I can't pick it up because I have just enough spaces in order to pick up all the chest pieces. And this was the final zombie that I ended up taking down. I did not want to try to dodge him when I come back, because once you come back through here, he will get up. And we just need to pick up this last chest piece. And we're going to run away from here. And we're going to be going back into the main room that we showed up in that was near the platform that we lowered. So again, there's ammo on that barrel over there. If you have enough slots to pick it up, be sure to do so. It's useful ammo to pick up. So once you see its head do that weird kind of like dangly effect, that means he's going back underwater, which means you have a few seconds to run away from him. So you're going to want to jump down the ledge and just run past him as fast as you can. Again, getting past all those G monsters was the most difficult thing to figure out here. Not in that section though. I could always do that section pretty easily, but it's the other section that I was just kind of annoyed by. Alright, so this one is 212.18. Or 212.8 rather, not 18. There is no 18. 212.8. We will get the final parts for the SP60, I think it is. Or SLS60. Why do I keep saying SP? So this allows you to use alternate ammo for the SLC60. And that alternate ammo pretty much works like Magnum ammo. So you just use the right bumper while you're aiming, or R1 while you're aiming if you're playing on PS4. And you will be able to do that. I'm playing this on the Xbox One X, so the game is freaking gorgeous in 4K. Unfortunately, I don't have a 4K capture card for console, so I had to play the game in 1080p again, but in either case, this is a beautiful looking game. So right now we are going to be solving the puzzle, the chess piece puzzle. Kind of reminds me of Devil May Cry a little bit with the chess pieces, but and of course the original version of Resident Evil 2 in the B game, you had chess pieces, but you didn't really have to figure anything out with them. You just had to place them, and Leon placed them automatically anyway. We will be finally upgrading our grenade launcher. And there is a little bit of a trick that we will be using to take down this boss here. But I will be showing you guys that in a little bit once I figure out what the hell I'm doing with this inventory. I think I'm figuring out as to whether or not I should take more high-powered ammo, but we do need some high-powered ammo for the handgun. And oh wait, this puzzle. Okay, so you're gonna want to place the queen here. The king goes in this spot, so we're gonna place the king right there. We're gonna turn around. We need to pick up the knight. The knight goes on the right side. However, this piece goes here, the rook. Then the knight. And then the bishop is over here. And there you go. That is the solution for the A game version of this puzzle. The B game is a little different. Still the same puzzle, but the positions are different. So now we have to deal with the next version of Birkin, which is going to be a very good time. This is actually this boss is really easy with Claire. With Leon, it's a little more difficult, but as long as you have flash grenades with Leon, you won't have an issue here. So you just want to flip 1, 2, and 4 here. And during this section, Birkin will try to claw at you from this room. You're going to want to bait him to claw this door. For some reason, I had a difficult time doing this. I usually don't, but get a little close to the door, he will slash at it. Then you're going to want to run near these barrels over here and stand directly in front of them. He will never be able to hit you while you're standing here. Shoot one grenade at him. And once you do that, the damage from the grenade will eventually make him show up on this side and break down the gate over here. With Leon, I usually don't do anything. I just stand there until he breaks down his gate. But alright, so once we do that, we're going to run past him.
Should have known you would die.
He is going to try to slash at us through here. So once he does that, he's going to miss. I'm going to shoot a grenade at him, and I'm going to run away. And now the true battle begins. So firstly, we need to hit the button back here. And then we need to, as soon as that happens, we need to throw a flash grenade. So we're going to turn around, toss a flash grenade. Watch out for Birkin. That was super lucky that I wasn't hit right there. He usually doesn't do that when I get here. So we're going to want to shoot him with a grenade. Shoot him 4 times with the high impact ammo. Then he's going to go down. We're going to toss a grenade at him. And then we are going to shoot him with another grenade. Another flame grenade, that is. Now we are going to blind him again. And we need to shoot him 2 more times with the flame ammo. So here is the final shot. The accumulated damage will knock him down while we are hitting this button. And that'll be the end of this version of Birkin. We only have to hit him once here. And you will see I actually get an achievement for doing this. So we're going to skip that scene. He's going to fall off. And we got through that in one phase. 1 crane hit, and that is the end of him. So we are almost out of the sewers. So that was some machine gun ammo. I didn't really have to pick that up, but I just wanted to pick it up to show you guys. There's also some pistol ammo to the left of me there. If you're not sure where some ammo is, like after you get into a room, if you hit select and look at the map usually shows you exactly where the items are that you left, which is something that I really love about the map in this game. The map is super useful. It's one of the best maps I've ever seen in a game. It's up there with like Metroid Prime's map. Freaking love Metroid Prime's map. Okay, so we're going to want to open this up, and we are finally going to be getting to Sherry again. And for some reason I let this play a little longer than I thought I should. I did end up fast forwarding this because it's just a giant walking section of us holding Sherry and bringing her to the cable car. And we don't really need to waste our time doing that. I mean, it's just a walking section, so. I fast forward through the walking section as well that's in the lab. So we're just going to be walking through here, bringing Sherry in. These doors are going to open. There are no items out here either, so nothing you have to worry about missing there. And yeah, there we go. Back to normal gameplay. So this is the final area of the game. There really isn't too much to do here, and this section is pretty crazy. It's pretty fun as well. I love this. This section of the game is freaking awesome. Just the way the lab looks is badass. Oh, there was also some ammo in there. Some ammo for the grenade launcher. Unfortunately, it was just 1 grenade for the grenade launcher, but yeah, so over here, we're going to be putting away pretty much everything. We're not going to be using the grenade launcher right now. I don't think we actually use the grenade launcher again until the boss for this area. We will be using the spark shot though, so be sure to pick up the spark shot. What else did I need here? I can't remember exactly. Again, I'm pretty sad that I picked up that stupid stars badge because that wasted a lot of time in this video, but in either case, you guys know how to get it now if you didn't know for whatever reason. I'm pretty sure everyone knows how to get it. So I'm just sitting here figuring out what I need. And did I take a defense item? Oh yeah, I have a knife. Okay, I'm good. There's another knife in the area that we're going to, so we should be good here. So we need to run back here in order to get the... We need to get this little chip that lets us gain access to other areas in the lab. We can only gain access to level 1 areas in the lab, so... So in here, what you want to do is run straight to the right, pick up the grenade, turn around, run straight to the left, and pick up the ammo for the spark shot. Then you're going to want to run outside of the room and go toward the ladder. That room is filled with zombies, and you just don't want to deal with it. The first time I played through this, I killed all those zombies too, and it was just a pain in the ass. Don't know what I was thinking. There was also some gunpowder back there that I missed somehow. This zombie right here is... This zombie pisses me off. He's always in a different position. When I was doing this with Leon, he was actually on the right side, and he grabbed me, and I had to waste a defense item. It's freaking pissed me off, dude. So I'm trying to get him to come over here because I hate this guy with a passion. And he somehow just ended up right next to me. I freaking hate this zombie. I think this zombie is also immune to flame rounds because he has that body armor. So he can't actually get ignited. There is an item in here that we need for the spark shot in order to make it charge up faster, which is pretty nice. There's absolutely nothing in this locker as far as I know. At least not on this difficulty. Maybe on the lower difficulties there's something in there. So this is the chip that we needed. We need to combine it with our wristband, and now we can gain access to level 2 areas. I ran back like that because I wanted to make sure that that zombie wasn't going to come after me. And when I'm running through here, I always stick to the right side because I don't want those zombies showing up in this hallway, because I am going to be coming back into this hallway in order to get the final side pack. It's not something that I had to get, but I just wanted it just because I wanted more ammo for bosses and such. So here we go. Now we can unlock the level 2 area. We can make the bridge over here, and we will be going to the left side because we can't gain access to the right side because that is a level 3, I believe. And then the elevator in the middle is a level 4, as you can see, so we can't gain access to that right now. We will be there soon enough, though. You will be seeing very soon. I freaking love this game, dude. This game is so good. So good. Like, I don't know. This is just one of the best games I've played in a very long time. I fucking adore this game. Capcom, you did it, you did it. Didn't believe you could do it, but you did it. I actually did believe you could do something really good, but I didn't think it was going to be as good as this. Okay, so anyway, enough gushing over this game. I don't know why I picked up the ink ribbon. Oh, I was looking for the powder, that's what it was. So we have some more gunpowder. We're going to be putting all this away. We don't need the grenade launcher stuff. We don't need the grenade either. We're just going to be taking all these items that I currently have. Actually, I think I take more than I need here. I should not have taken that. Actually, I should have taken that ammo. I think I use this. I can't remember. Either way, I'm holding one item too many because I wanted to get some gunpowder, and I wasn't able to get it. So there is some gunpowder in the area that we're going to. So right here, we are going to be seeing the plant zombies, which look completely different from how they were in Resident Evil 2, OG Resident Evil 2. In this game, they're like a combination of those plant zombies with the regenerators and normal zombies. Okay, so the code over here is 3123. Just think of this as a like normal keypad where you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 0 on the bottom. The second code is 2067. And that is it. You will have unlocked both of the doors here. You will unlock a door and a ladder that goes down into the basement area of this lab. So this is actually Plant 43. Not to be confused with Plant 42 from OG Resident Evil and Resident Evil Remake. This is Plant 43, and we need to kill Plant 43 in order to get the other chip that we need to gain access to level 3 areas. So I got this other gunpowder. Was able to make some more acid rounds, which is a good thing. There's also a grenade here, and this is the reason that I needed more space, because there was another gunpowder downstairs that I wanted to get, but I wasn't able to get it. Okay, so in order to do this puzzle, it's very easy. In the A game, all you need to do is red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red, green. So that'll solve this puzzle. On the B game, you can do it very easily as well. It's blue, red, green, blue, red, green, blue, red, green. So A game, red, green, blue, and B game, blue, red, green. So just keep running those combinations and you will solve the puzzles. Pretty easy stuff. Thankfully, this puzzle is not randomized. That would have been very annoying if it was. That would have been no good. Okay, so now that that has happened, we're going to run back out here. You do need to watch out for these plant dudes. If they grab you, they are an insta-kill, which is why you want to take a defense item with you. The nice thing about them is that they, as far as I know, they don't have a back attack animation. So as soon as they grab you from behind, they will spin you around to the front. So even if they grab you from behind, you will still be able to use a defense item on them. So they're a lot easier to deal with than I thought they were. Like when I first played through this, I thought they were just like super enemies that no matter what, like they would just take you down. But No, they're pretty easy to deal with. Like, they get stunned very easily as well. Okay, so in this area, there's some grenades right there that I'm not going to be able to pick up right now. I will be picking them up later. But over here, there are 3 zombies that you need to kill, because if you don't kill them here, they will get up later, and you will have to deal with them and lickers at the same time, and you don't want to do that. So what we're going to do is knife these zombies to death. Every single one of them is going to be knifed to death. So we're going to chop this chick's legs off. Once her legs come off, we're going to chop her body until she stops moving. And I'm going to do an extra shot just in case to make sure they're dead. This guy on the right will not get up, so don't worry about him. I do believe he will get up if you slash at him though, but he will never get up even when the lights go on. But these 3 do get up, so you don't want to deal with this when you have lickers roaming around at all. So we'll slice at this guy's legs. Try to cut all his legs off. All his legs. He only has 2 legs, but cut both legs off. So make sure he's dead. Seems like he is. And now we're going to go after this dude, which this guy is always a little finicky. But just keep slashing at his legs as usual. Try to cut them off so that he doesn't have any maneuverability. I was able to stun him with the knife long enough to knock him over. And even if he grabbed me, I would have just stabbed him with the knife and then shot him in the legs a few times until he got knocked over. And this guy is finally dead as well. And we're just going to make sure with a gunshot. Okay, so now that that is done, we need to run straight ahead. There will be a licker coming down. So what I'm going to do here, I was trying to figure out, should I walk through here or should I run? And I've always consistently been able to run past this guy, so I decided to run. As long as I stay by that right wall when running by him, I've never been hit. So that's how I suggest dodging him. If you're not too confident in that, then just walk through that entire area and just dodge around him. So with this guy, trying to make sure he's dead. Because I want to kill all these guys because I'm going to be coming down. I'm going to be coming back down from here. And I don't want to deal with these zombies. I'm actually going to be going back up through here as well, so that's the reason I want this guy dead. He's being a little crafty bastard. And I do believe that is what killed him. Yeah, he's finally dead. However, you will see that I did not check one of the zombies that I'm going through here. After killing it, rather. I don't know why I said after I'm going through here. But yeah, I did not kill one of these zombies. This guy in particular. So I thought he was dead after I did this electric shock because of the way he ragdolled. Usually when they ragdoll like that, that means they're dead, but yeah, apparently he was not dead. He will be showing up later. And I should have made sure that he was dead. I should have shot him again, but of course I didn't. And of course we have one more zombie to deal with. We have this female one over here. So we're going to shock her ass and kill her ass. This one can be really annoying. I don't know what it is about these female zombies, but they piss me off in this game. Especially these female zombies in the lab coats. They can be a real pain in the ass, dude. They're always the ones that catch me by surprise for some reason. Alright, so I could not pick that up because I need to pick this item up over here. Well, not this one. This is pistol ammo. But yeah. Actually, no. I end up going into the box. Yeah, this is a shortcut that leads back to the box. So if you unlock this, then it leads back to the box. So I was able to place some items away, thankfully. Again, a little sloppily done, but it's all good. It's all good. So we're going to put away some items. I really don't need that grenade launcher ammo. Hopefully I put that away. Yeah, I did. Okay, cool. And I decided to save the grenade. Alright, let's get out of here. And we need to pick up the... I wanted to make sure the zombies were dead too. I still didn't trust the fact that they were crispy. Alright. So we got that little monitor thing that we need in order to gain access to the other doors in this area by turning on the power. But before we do that, we're going to be running all the way back to the beginning area that I went to earlier in order to get the side pack. Again, this is something that you don't have to do. We could have run straight back downstairs where we delimbed all the zombies, and we would have placed the item in there. We would have had to sneak past the lickers. We place the item there, do the little puzzle, and then we go into the lab and get the final vaccine thing that we need to kill Plant 43 with. But in either case, we're doing this now, so let's do it. Again, I was being cautious here. I didn't know if the zombies were going to be around in here. You never know what's going to happen. Sometimes the zombies roam into weird places, so you do want to be cautious. Especially when you're doing no damage. And this guy, I wasn't sure if this guy was going to be showing up here either, so... yeah, for the most part, we seem to be good, so... let's use this here. So, we need to use the modulator. We need to switch it to muff right now. And we need to move the frequencies to fit the frequency in the background. That amplitude, though. Amplitude and frequency. So once we do that, the power in here will go on. These doors will unlock, and you will get the side pack. And there's also a note here of that dead guy there that we really didn't need to get. But now we have some more slots, so we can pick up some more items, which is pretty nice. And that is the last side pack that we will be getting through this playthrough. It's always nice having more space, but as far as I know, on hardcore mode, you don't get nearly as much space as you do on the other difficulties. I've heard there's a lot of side packs like littered throughout the entirety of the game, in just like normal rooms and such. But on hardcore mode, all the side packs are pretty much in areas that you have to unlock. So, and I don't think you can actually get the achievement for getting all the side packs on hardcore mode. I'm not sure. Either that or I've never gotten all the side packs on hardcore mode. Maybe I'm missing one, but in either case, we're going to be going back down through here. Again, I'm being cautious because I don't know whether or not one of these guys is alive. And I hear something and I'm like, oh shit, somebody's alive here. And I'm like, oh shit, alright. So I decided to take this dude down. This was the guy that ragdolled earlier that I thought was dead, but he's apparently not. So here we go. Finally killing him. And I do believe he's dead this time. I think I shoot him anyway, just in case. Seems like he is. Alright, so back downstairs we go. There are 2 lickers down here now that we have to sneak around. You do not want to get damaged by these lickers. The lickers are relentless in this game. If you run into a room with them in it, unless you run straight back out the door that you came in to, unless you do that, there's no way you're avoiding the lickers. Like, there's just no way. Like, if you just try to straight away run through the room before the lickers can get you, it's not happening. The lickers will always get you. It's almost a certainty that you will be damaged by the lickers, so don't fuck around with these guys. They're super fast and agile in this game. They are ridiculous. Alright, so move it to Murph, and we need to fix the frequency to Murph. Fix it to the background little image there. And there we go. So let's place this item here. Don't have much to go. We're almost at the end of this. And of course I saw this licker coming this way, so I decided to try to bait him toward this side of the room and get him stuck on the table. Because even though the lickers can't see you, they can smell you, which is the reason that he's like going toward where I am every time I move. So I decided to get him stuck on that table and just walk by his ass. Don't got time, ain't nobody got time for that. There's actually a room back there, a safe room, that has some gunpowder. I think it has a knife. There's an item box in there, and there's an ink ribbon, but I decided not to even bother with that shit. I don't want to sneak past that other licker. Especially after having done all the stuff that I've done so far. Then I'd have to start all the way back in the sewer, because I haven't saved since the sewer, so. Okay. So we're gonna place this in here. And this animation, I love the fact that they brought this animation back from the original version of the game. But yeah. Okay, so we now have the item that we need in order to kill Plant 43 and get the next security chip that we need. So we are now going to be running back upstairs. So let us do that. Once we go out here, we're going to want to walk. Also, once these lights go on, one of those plant regenerator enemies is going to be back here. He's going to be on the staircase, so you definitely want to watch out for that. It's pretty easy to get past these guys. These guys get stunned very easily, but I decided to be safe once again and use the electric volt to shock his ass. Because I don't want to get damaged, and I don't want to use my defense item on him either. So there we go. And that is the last time that we will be going through this area. And now we will be saving the game. And this is definitely not an optimal save. Do not save at this point. If you're doing a normal playthrough or even a no damage playthrough, don't save at this point. Because the next section is a lot easier than you think it would be. So once we use this whatever the hell it is, like poison or vaccine or whatever you want to call it, once we use it to take out Plant 43, we will be running through a little bit of a gauntlet of those enemies, of those, what the hell are those enemies called? The plant enemies? I don't remember their names. But, oh yeah, over here, the reason I came back in here is because I thought I left an item for some reason. But I did not, so I will be saving the game here. But yeah, there's a little bit of a gauntlet there. You do have to run by a bunch of these guys, but running by them in the A game is pretty easy. Actually, running by them in the B game is pretty easy as well, especially if you have a flash grenade. Just save a flash grenade there, toss one, you run by them. Or a normal grenade, doesn't really matter. Either way, it's not too bad. Like when I first played through this game, I was killing like every single one of these plant things because I didn't really understand how they worked. And I didn't understand that you had to burn them completely to kill them. So I was just like wasting a lot of ammo on these guys, but it's really, really easy to just run by all of them. And I really should have done that in the first place. But yeah, so here we go. Here comes the gauntlet section, and here is our final save of the game, which again is not an optimal save. So again, I would suggest not saving there. Don't do it. Do not do it. Wait until after this section. Just bring 1 or 2 defense items just in case you get grabbed, because as I said, they can't attack you from behind, as far as I know anyway. They've never attacked me from behind. Every time they attack me, it's always they grab me from behind and spin me around. So I don't think they have a attack animation from the back, kind of like the dogs in the original Resident Evil. So these two are pretty easy to run by. That last guy who was running after me, I would suggest running to the right of him because it's more consistent in dodging him if you run to the right than the left, but it is possible to run to the left and dodge him, as you saw. I was being pretty ballsy here, not gonna lie. So now that Plant 43 is down, we can go back here and pick up the final security chip. Once we do that, we combine it with our wrists, our wristband. And now we're just going to want to run the hell out of here. By the time these guys get up, it'll be too late for them to come after you, so just run by all of them, run to the right of this guy. As soon as you go into this room, run straight to the left, because there's one of those guys like right ahead of you. And sometimes he's right at the door, so veering directly left will make sure that you completely dodge him. This guy I almost always get grabbed by, which is why I always bring a defense item there. Gives me iframe so I can just run by them. And that is that section. So, again, I wouldn't suggest saving before that section because it's really easy to deal with, as you can see. These guys don't really have attacks that hit you besides their grab attacks because they're just like insta-grab kill enemies. So, since you don't have to worry about like them swinging at you like those G enemies in the sewer or like the lickers or anything like that, just running into them is fine, or running by them because they don't really swing at you. They're like normal zombies, except with less options, if I'm being honest. They're like gimped normal zombies who only have grab attacks. They're kind of slower too, and they're they're easier to stun than normal zombies. If you shoot those weird like orange bubbles that are on them, it instantly stuns those motherfuckers. So not too bad. All right, there's a grenade over here, and this is the last time that we need to use this frequency item. We need to switch it to os, but I had done this earlier, so I didn't have to actually do it now. And once you do it on all 3 of those panels, then you can get rid of the item. If you don't get the side pack, then you can just get rid of this item at this point. Just throw it in your box and never use it again. But since we use it all up, we can actually discard it from our inventory. Kind of like the older video games. Pretty nice. Except the older video game, the older version of Resident Evil would automatically ask you to discard it as soon as you were done using it. Okay, so now we are going to be planning for the Birkin Fight. A very, very interesting fight, and this fight is a pain in the ass with Leon to no damage. So annoying. It's so much easier with Claire, you have no idea. So we're going to be taking as much acid ammo as we can. And all of our flame ammo. He should be dead before we use all of our flame ammo. But we will also be using the high-powered rounds for the pistol. And what else will we be using? I think that's about it. Just a grenade launcher and the high-powered rounds. So I'm switching to the high-powered rounds right now. We're going to be using the high-powered rounds to shoot his eyes. Oh, we're also going to be knifing him. I'm not sure how much damage the knife does, though, but we're going to be knifing him. It does seem to do decent damage, but whatever. So once we get in there, we're going to want to switch to our acid rounds, because the acid rounds actually stun Birkin, which makes shooting his eyes a lot easier. And it's something that Leon cannot do, which is why this battle is a lot more difficult with Leon. So first thing we're going to want to do is shoot his eyes. Try to get both of them. Once that happens, wait for him to get close to you, then acid him. Once he gets back up, you're going to want to try to stun him. I was kind of off with my stunning shots, because there is a little window that he has of invincibility frames from the effects of the acid damage, and I completely missed that shot. This kind of went sloppily, as you can see. But yeah, what we are trying to do right now is stun him so that we get a clear shot of that eyeball on the back. And I still somehow missed, because I'm a stupid man. But so I'm going to stun him again. I'm trying to figure out where the other shots are, because there is some more high-powered rounds back here. But they are not in this place, so we are going to be going back, because they are in somewhere in this direction. I believe they are, anyway. And yeah, there we go. So we're going to be using this to take out the final eye. And he was in the middle of tossing something, so thankfully I was back here. So what I'm going to do is wait for him to start running at me, shoot him again, try to get around him, and try to get that final shot on that final eye, which will stun him quite a bit. And again, I thought I waited enough time to stun him the second time, but apparently I didn't. So now he is vulnerable. He actually has a lot of iframes to the acid attacks when he's getting back up, but now we are just going to be swinging the knife at him for a little bit so he gets back up. And pretty much for the rest of his battle, we are going to be using the rest of our grenade rounds on him. So every time he gets back up, we're just going to reload and shoot him. It's not the most intense thing you'll ever see, thankfully, because again, Claire can stun him with the grenade launcher, which is quite nice. Nothing really to comment about here. However, I am going to get to a point where I cannot use the acid grenades. Right here, I actually should have switched to the flame grenades, and then I should have switched back to the acid afterward. Actually, I think I do. Yeah, I do. Okay. But I only did it for the one shot. I could have gotten a few shots in on him if I did that earlier. So once again, stunning him. Trying to get out of this corner because it's not very safe, especially considering how large he is at this point. So we're going to want to run away from Birkin. Let's keep going. Let's get as far away from him as we can. Shoot him again, and now we need to switch to the flame grenades, which do more actual damage to him, but they don't stun him, which sucks. So, I got a little lucky here because he was going after the lab equipment there to throw at me. So, whenever he does that, you want to get behind a wall or something so that it doesn't hit you. Also, if you run into your grenade launcher flames, it doesn't actually damage Claire. She just puts out all of the fire from her body, but it doesn't actually, you know, do anything to her. As far as damage goes, you'll still be on fine. Just changes her animation a bit. Alright, so that was the last shot, and that is the end of Birkin. Pretty easy boss with Claire. Pretty annoying boss with Leon. Okay, here we go. So there are a bunch of items that we want to pick up around here. I was just looking at the map to see what was around. I'm just going to pick up everything that I possibly can because we are going to be needing the grenades for the final boss. We are also going to be needing the electric shot for the final boss. And that's pretty much all we'll be using against him, and the Gatling gun, of course. But we will get to that when we get to it. We're almost there, though. We're about to go back and meet up with Sherry and cure her of the G virus so that she doesn't transform into some kind of monster. We don't want that happening to our dear little Sherry. So let's go up here. And, no, we don't get a cutscene here. Leon gets a cutscene around this area when you run back to the main platform areas with the bridges. But Claire does not. So we need to actually run all the way back. But yeah, good times. Freaking love this game. I really, really love the boss battle themes in the new game, which unfortunately aren't playing in this playthrough because I'm playing with the old music, but goddamn, those songs are epic as fuck. Right here, for some reason, I got a little lost. But yeah, as soon as you run out of that room, you just run to the left side, and you'll end up over here. Run back into the room that Sherry is in, and we will be preparing for our final escape. Alright, let's skip this. And we got the final chip. We will combine it with the wristband, and we have access to everywhere in the lab now. And we need to go down this elevator in the middle of this lab area. Into the center elevator. Okay. Just a little more, just a little more. I love the fact that they did put an elevator in the middle of this lab area with the bridges. And right here I'm switching the costumes because I just realized that I didn't put it on alternate costumes. I just selected the costume, so Claire didn't automatically switch it to the black tee. So I decided to switch it myself, since Sherry is wearing my jacket now. And there's the core of the lab about to explode.
Thank you for being so nice to me. For helping me.
And we get a little tender moment here with Sherry.
Really glad I met you too, Sherry.
Something else that is a little different than the original version of RE2 is the fact that Leon and Claire don't really talk to each other as much in this version. They're in contact throughout the entirety of Resident Evil 2. Like, there's little spots in the middle of the game where they're still in contact, but in this game it's just like you see Leon in that section when the helicopter explodes, and you don't see him again until around now, which is crazy. But they do have little notes that are written where Claire supposedly has written Leon, and Leon has supposedly written to Claire in the B game, so kind of makes it like there's more contact between them, but I don't know, it's kind of weird. So right now, all we need to take with us are the grenade rounds and the grenade launcher and the pistol. We don't really need the pistol ammo though. The pistol ammo is fine not to take with you. We just need one shot from the handgun and we're good. Then we don't have to deal with anything ever again, but yeah, for some reason I took all that pistol ammo. Well, we will need the pistol ammo for the boss, but I mean, like, throughout this section I didn't really need to take all this stuff. Alright, so now we have the countdown going. There are plant zombies here that are easily dodged. Just run straight by them. They're not a threat, and Sherry can't get damaged by them. As far as I know, anyway. I've never seen her get damaged by any of these things. But yeah, just run directly by them. Go down the stairs. The door down here will be locked. So Sherry will be unlocking the door down here, and we will have to deal with 2 plant zombies in the meantime while she's unlocking the door.
Of course. Stupid thing's locked.
Hold on.
Sherry, what are you...
I think I can open it from the other side.
Okay, so there she goes. That plant zombie just gets tossed down down there for some reason. Okay. Alright, so we are burning this guy alive. And then we need to burn the second one. And we are good. We don't have to completely kill them. As long as they're incapacitated, it's fine. We'll have enough time to escape here. And Sherry should be unlocking this door in a little bit. Jesus Christ. Shut up back there.
I got it.
Alright, cool.
Nice work.
We make a good team.
And here's the one zombie that we need to take down with the pistol is right here. I mean, you can take him down with anything. He's always one shot. So, use whatever you want. If you have a machine gun, just blast him there. I wouldn't suggest using a grenade or anything, but if you want to, I guess it's your prerogative.
Claire, maybe we could use that.
Okay, so now we need to get rid of the grenade launcher. We're never going to use it again. We're going to be picking up the spark shot needles. Every single grenade that we have, we need to pick up. And that is about it as far as I know. I don't think we can pick anything else up because we need 2 slots for both the Gatling gun and the little, I don't know, those little weird circular cylinders that charge up the train. But alright, so here we go. We have another space actually, so I'm probably going to pick something else up. More pistol ammo, I guess. Yeah, alright. Makes sense. Okay, so that should be it. So now we need to run inside of the train to pick up the items that we need in order to, well, it's just one giant power item, I guess, that powers up the train. Forget what it's called. It's the same thing from the original version of RE2. Oh, the jolt plug, or joint plug. Joint plug, yeah. Pretty cool plug, but it takes up too much space, goddammit. So we're going to want to plug that in first and pull the lever over here. And once we do that, we can pick up the Gatling gun. And yeah, here comes the final boss of Claire A. So this guy always jumps down into the same spot in the beginning. He does not follow you here, so once he jumps down, you're going to want to toss a grenade at him. We're going to be using the grenades to take down all the eyeballs. If you do not shoot all of his eyeballs, this guy pretty much won't ever die. So make sure you're using your ammo wisely. Don't just shoot at his back. Make sure you're shooting directly at the front of him. You do not want to waste ammo on this guy, because if you do, you're going to be stuck here forever. He just will not die if you don't blow up all of the eyeballs. So yeah, I'm tossing grenades in order to get more damage on the eyeballs in the front. Sometimes he will climb up. Whenever he climbs up, just run around until he falls down. He will try to direct himself at you while he's falling. If he falls directly on top of the train, just keep running until he jumps down onto the platform. Once he does that, you're going to want to toss some more grenades at him just to blow up those eyeballs. just stay far away from him. You do need to stay far away from him because he has this running attack. That's the reason that I cut off my electric shock right there. You're going to need to run away from him when he does this attack. You want to be around the corner of the train whenever he's doing that attack, because if you're directly in the middle of the platform when he's doing that and he has a clear shot at you, it's almost guaranteed that you're going to be damaged by him. So you always want to stay a bunch of steps ahead of him. Like you want to be pretty far away from him whenever you're running around here. Alright, so he fell down on the train, so I'm trying to figure out here where he's going to be coming from. Likely going to be coming from the right side. And there he is. And right here I forgot that the spark shot does not work from that range, so I was like, god damn it. So I'm going to try to use my grenade to salvage the fact that I wasted those shots. And now we are going to be starting to use the Gatling gun. Good god, can't speak. Alright, so again, shoot directly at the eyeballs. Don't shoot them anywhere else. Make sure you're getting the eyeballs. I see an eyeball in the back, so I'm trying to get it. And whenever he starts climbing up, don't bother shooting at him. Don't want to waste any ammo. I'm not sure if it does damage, but really when you're hitting him in the back, it doesn't do damage. He landed on top of the train, so I'm just running around until he jumps back on the platform. I'm going to make sure to gain enough distance between him and me in order to shoot the eyeballs again. Stay around this corner, he's going to do that dash attack again. And I'm going to try to get the eyeballs once again. It's not going to be much more before he dies. He's almost dead. This took a little longer than it usually would because I'm being super cautious here. I didn't want to shoot, or I didn't want to redo everything that I've done to this point. So, and yeah, this is it. He's dead. That's the end of it. You don't actually have to shoot him here either. I just kept shooting him because it's satisfying to do so, and I think Claire looks badass with the chain gun here. Shooting this dude up. But yeah, once he's crawling around on the ground, he will just die eventually after a few seconds. And there you have it. And that is the end of my Resident Evil 2 Claire A no damage hardcore mode S+ rank playthrough. So we still need to do a Leon B playthrough, but there we go. No heals, no damage, 3 saves. It did take us a little longer than it should have, but in either case, I'm pretty satisfied with that. I hope that you all enjoyed this video. Thank you very kindly for watching. Once again, my name is AtrophyOfSoul, and be sure to have yourselves a fine day.